of the West Nigeria. Alright, it's your sport boy this morning, David Ojo, taking the center stage. Welcome on board, guys, and let's start with the MPFL season draw. Alright, draws for the 2023-2024 season of the Nigerian Premier Football League holds today. Yes, that's August 29, on the heels of the annual general meeting of the board and the 20 clubs. It will be the very first time AGM under the newly inaugurated leadership of Honorable Benga Elegbeleye, who was made a substantive chairman of the MPFL board after successfully steering the Interim Management Committee IMC. Implemented a far-reaching reform in the domestic top league, and he said that the league has set off on a good footing with a planned live broadcast streaming of matches, adding that in the coming days they shall share the good news coming from his commercial initiative. Still talking about football, even though the participating teams have not been finalized, the African Soccer Ruling Body has announced the date and venue for the draw of the median edition of the African Football League. The African Football Apex Body has inspected numerous clubs in the continent to finalize the 8 teams that will be the pioneers clubs for the competition. According to the update coming from the CAF headquarters, the body agreed to have the draw in Cairo, Egypt on September 2nd. It's further stated that the competition will run from October 20th to 11th November 2023, and it will be an home and away on a knockout format. Alright, still talking about football, let's talk about the female angle now. Delta Queens continues their impressive performance on the continent by booking a final spot in their Waffle B qualifier for the 2023-2024 Women's CAF Champions League after defeating Atletico FC with 3 goals to 2 on home soil. While Delta Queens kept 2 clean sheets in the previous games against USFA 3-0 and Sam Nelly before fighting back from a goal down to end a deserving victory against Atletico FC in the 3rd game at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium in Benin City. Melissa Beninan had silenced the crowd as early as the 5th minute to put Atletico to the lead, but Messi Amonko restored parity in 68th minute before banging a brace in the 98th minute to put Delta in front of the first time in the game. Taiwo Afolabi's extra time effort in the 106 minutes extended the home team's lead to 3-1. However, a late goal by Joy Sunday from the visitors in the 114th minute wasn't enough consolation as the reigning Nigerian football women club talking about Delta Queen zoom into the final round of the qualifier. Alright, still talking about the ladies, Ghanaian Women League champions Hampem Dakwa proved their mettle once again on Monday in the second semi-finals of the competition with a 6-1 sparking of Sam Nelly. The Dakwa ladies raised a 3 goals lead in the first half through Tracy Twam, Mary Ampomsa and Ophelia Ampomsa. Valentina Cloto reduced the scoreline for Sam Lely in the 55th minute before Nancy Amwa netted the 4th goal at the 67th minute, while Twam scored the 6th goal in the 69th minute. Ampam Dakwa will now face our Nigerians Delta Queen in the epic final of the competition, with winner representing the region in the competition proper in Ivory Coast in November. Alright, still talking about football, let's talk about these guys. Bendel Insurance. Bendel Insurance will arrive in Nigeria today after their departure from Algeria on Monday. Yes, according to the media team, the Bendel Insurance, the Benin has now departed the Algerian capital Monday 2:36 p.m. Nigerian time and expected to arrive in Nigeria this morning after a positive outing in the CAF Confederations Cup qualifying round. Alright, Bendel Insurance defeated ASO Chief 3-4 on penalties after both teams play out a 1-0 draw on aggregate over 2 legs and are poised to face off against RS Berkane of Morocco in the final round of the series. Bendel Insurance will also set their sight on the Nigerian Premier League, proposed to resume on the 9th of September as they continue the 2023-2024 campaign. Following the ousted in the 2023 CAF Champions League, the skipper of the Yimba International, Ojo Olorunleke, has expressed his sadness about the early exit of his team in CAF club competition, despite scoring 3 away goals and the People's Elephant failed to get a much-needed lone goal at home and crashed out 4-3 on the aggregate scoreline to Heli Benghazi. Ojo expressed his disappointment through the club's social media handle and insisted that the club will be back and better. Interestingly, Yimba remained the only club in Nigeria that has lifted a trophy in the past. Alright, still talking to things related to CAF after a draw in the first round of the preliminary round of the CAF Confederations Cup. Nigerian representative Rivers United opponent for the second round has been confirmed. Alright, the pride of Rivers was given a bye to the second round following their quarter-final finish last season. Etoile Filante of Burkina Faso has now been confirmed as the second round opponent for the former Nigerian Premier League champions. The Burkina Faso side hedged out Casa Sport de Zunkanko of Senegal via an away goal rule. The first leg played in Dakar ended 1-0 at the reverse fixture in Ouagadougou ended in a goalless affair. The second round game has been set for mid-September. Alright, still talking about football. Let's talk about our sensational talisman. Talking about Victor Osimhen. Rudy Garcias, the manager of Italian Serie A side Napoli, has praised Nigerian Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen for his selfless attitude. Napoli was awarded 2 penalties in the game against Vassallo, and Osimhen took the first one and scored, but the surprise to everyone, he gave the second to the teammate Ramzo Davri, who eventually lost the kick. The coach heaped up praises on him and said he's thinking about the team, not himself. Osimhen now has 3 goals in 2 matches this season. Still talking about football, Chelsea striker Romelu Lukaku is set to join Serie A side Roma on a season-long loan. The deal includes an 8 million loan fee, and Roma will be covering the 30-year-old of Belgium international wages. Inter Milan had hoped Lukaku, who is not part of Mauricio Pochettino's plan at Chelsea, will return to the club where he spent the last season on loan. But the forward was unhappy. Coach Simone Inzaghi did not start him in the Champions League final. Juventus were also keen to sign Lukaku, but were unable to make the changes required to their squad. There are still some details to be finalized, by the arrangement and agreement for his return to Italy is essentially done. The move to Roma means that Lukaku will be reunited with Jose Mourinho, who persuaded him to join Manchester United ahead of Chelsea when he moved to Old Trafford, outfit from Everton in 2017. Alright, still talking about something related to football, but let's talk about this. Spain's top criminal court has opened a preliminary investigation into the country's football federation president Luis Rubiales after he kissed player Jenny Hermoso on his lips. Yes, the prosecutors are looking into whether the incident amounted to a crime of sexual assault, while Rubiales, who is 46, has been widely criticized after the incident following Spain's Women's World Cup final win. Also, his stat 3 said the case was not consensual. Rubiales was suspended on Saturday by the World Football Governing Body, FIFA. The previous day, Rubiales had insisted he will not resign. Alright, before we go to tennis, let me just quickly let you know what happened yesterday. Getafe in La Liga and Deportivo Alvarez. Getafe won 1-0, while Rayo Vallecano lost at home to Atletico Madrid 7-0. Alright, in Syria, Salernitana and Udinese had a 1-0 draw, while Cagliari lost at home to Inter Milan 2-0. Yes, and in Saudi Professional League, Haval won 2-1 against El Fahia, while El Ila won at home against El Atifa by 2-0. El Raid and El Riyadh played, and El Raid won 3-0, while El Wadad lost at home to El Ittihad by 3-0. Alright, before we go home, before we leave the studio, let's just quickly talk about tennis. The US Open, it's on and lively at the moment. Yes, Iga Swiatek began US Open title defense with an emphatic first round victory as 8th seed Maria Sharaki fell to a surprising loss. World number 1 Swiatek breezed to a 6-0, 6-1 win over Sweden's Rebecca Peterson in 58 minutes. Sakari had a day to forget in court 17 as she was knocked out by world number 71 Rebecca Musarova of Spain. The Greek had been 4-1 up in the first set, but Musarova responded in thrilling fashion to claim a 6-4, 6-4 win. Swiatek has won both previous meetings with world number 86 Peterson and had came through the encounter of Asha Stadium in the previous style. Alright, before we go, let me just quickly let you know that Dominic Thiem won his first Grand Slam match in more than 2 years with a straight set victory over Alexander Bulik and US Open in a 6-3, 6-2, 6-4. Alright, that's how far we can go on Sport Drive this wonderful Tuesday morning. Special thanks to the producer of Sport Drive, Muhyiddin Adeleke. Join the maestro himself tomorrow for Sports Deep In. My name is David Ojo, your sport boy, and I'm saying bye for now and au revoir.
That was Sports Drive with David Ojo. To join us again tomorrow for another edition of the program, and right about now on OSBC Radio 104.5 FM Oshobo. It's time to bring to you Living by the Answer, sponsored by the Dream Center of the Life Forces International.
We've got an answer.
We welcome you to Living by the Answer, sponsored by the Dream Center of the Life Voices International Churches. Come and enjoy the teaching ministry of one of God's choicest servants, Reverend Olushola Ayodele Areogun. We believe God with you that God's dreams for your life will certainly come to pass as you hear God's word and